It's fantastic. We have got so much to celebrate, and I love this day because we kind of look back at this whole week to see how we did with our mindset, what we triumphed over. We had a great guest speaker for Wealth Wellness Wednesday, obviously some hot button topics for Trending Thursday, which leads us all to our Healthy Fantabulous Friday, where we celebrate us, celebrate our wins, embrace our divots and pivots and maybe even our stumbles. That's okay, because that is going to give us more energy and more, desire and inspiration to kick butt on Monday. So good morning, everyone. This is Carroll-Sue, AKA Naughty Boss, live from a kind of a cloudy Vero Beach with two
sisters. Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Janis, AKA Wellness Diva 5.0. Obviously having hair issues as usual. And yes, I am kind of sporting the Abdals figurine, if anybody knows what Abdals is, it's a restaurant in Connecticut. I don't think they're still, I don't think they're around. But when you pulled up to their establishment, to the restaurant, they're, with their big sign, of course, but on top of the sign was their, I guess you call it a mascot, was like a little boy with, kind of the stuff sticking out. I was trying to fix it before we got on video, and I'm like, just whatever. I don't care. It is what it is.
Go with it because it's Fantabulous Friday, and mine was kind of oof. Man, I just throw it in a ponytail and be done with it. Not going to get too crazy today with that because I do have a hair appointment. Thank the Lord, and so she can deal with the mess. Who cares? Just throw it in a ponytail and be done with it. So Fantabulous Friday. We always chat about, obviously, things that are going on in our world, how it impacts our health and wellness, and how we can navigate through all that. Because a lot of times when you have a lot of energy coming from different directions, it's really hard to stay on point. It's hard to stay on track. Now, what I've noticed, obviously being away for a few days, you get off track with eating, right? You just, you're eating things that, okay, you're going out to eat, or you're eating at someone's home, or whatever it may be. So you're trying different things. So this week, kind of re-emphasize the fact that there's certain foods I cannot eat. So we went to, where did we go? It was in Connecticut. We went to, first and last, had eggplant parm. John always cracks up because I always ask, is it heavily fried? It is kind of a corny question to ask. And I have to reword it, is it heavily breaded? Because the more breading on it, the more it's soaking up that grease, the more that it's heavily fried. So it's kind of like a 3-step process. But, my body still cannot. There's certain things that, even if I try even a small amount, it just doesn't agree with my digestive tract, just does not. And this occurs for many people. We always say that our bodies kind of reset themselves every 7 years. So I started probably noticing that, probably I want to say it was early 50s, is all of a sudden when, I can't have those fried strip clams anymore. Not that you would have any, Jan. But the point being is we do know that our body does change, and we have to kind of respect it. We have to, kind of take the lead from our own body of what it, can digest and what it can't. And that will impede your choices, that will impede if you're traveling. Some people always, regardless of whether they're eating, what they normally do in eating clean or eating healthy, still have issues because maybe it's the traveling that disrupts your digestion. So it's not just the food, it could be the area, in different areas. We're about pretty much in the United States similar in season, but guess what? When you go to different states, there's different allergies, there's different things in the air that also impact your digestion. How do you fare when you're traveling, Jan?
I actually feel pretty good, although I am a tired traveler. It just doesn't matter. I just am and always have been. That's why I'm definitely not a good car traveler. Anything over 4 hours, forget about it. Get me the Tylenol PM and knock me out. But, you did bring up a really good point about when you are in different areas of the country, there are different environmental elements that do affect your health and your wellness. Think about the air that you breathe. Obviously in the Northeast in the spring when things start to bloom, I'm allergic to pollen, like so many people are allergic to pollen. And back to your point about every 7 years or so. I know about 6 years ago, excuse me, I was diagnosed with a non-celiac gluten sensitivity. So obviously I have to be very, very mindful of that. Now I've noticed sort of another transition where I am definitely a meat and potato person. I can maybe have beef once a week, if that, and just in very little amounts, because it just does not agree with me. But I find it very interesting through this course of 6 years or so that your body does change in ways that you maybe didn't expect, like the food you love. For instance, I love potatoes, mashed potatoes, French fries, potato chips. Well, forget about it. I can't eat that stuff because it makes me feel, it makes me feel bloated. So you have to ask yourself or pay attention to the cues that your body is giving you. Hey, if my body is reacting to this, maybe I shouldn't be eating it. And if it's that hard where you feel, oh my God, I can't give it up, then do the step down approach. Like if you're having 4 cups of popcorn, say. Now I love popcorn. I can't eat that much, obviously. I'd be really sick. Cut it down to 2 cups. Do that for a few days. Cut it back a little more. And you'll be surprised at how you feel. But just think of that overall feeling, not just your gut, that you're doing something healthy for yourself. You're noticing what your body's going through. It's notice, take action, and implement. It sounds simple, right?
Right, and that does, you're absolutely right. It does sound simple. And I think the hard people, and I'm a perfect example of that. I know others are perfect examples that you still go back to that favorite, and you're almost trying to find, I just could find, one person that makes it the way that I like it, or, a way that I can eat it that it's not going to upset my belly or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, our body's giving us the signs and the clues not to kind of pee us off, right? Not to perturb us, but it's saying, hey, I can't absorb that. I can't, that disrupts things. So it's almost like you have to look, you got to turn the table, turn the mindset on that. I have to actually look at those types of food groups and not just say, ooh, they bother my, it's poison to my body. I have to have that mentality that it's that grave, that severe, because anyone knows that when you have a digestion issue, it is not a fun experience, number one. But you after you kind of get through that, your body now, it has to replenish itself, probably has to regenerate, it also has to hydrate. It's a whole process to get you back to kind of feeling that gut feeling back to normalcy, to a point where it's calm, where you feel good. Is it worth it? And I think before you kind of take that fork or look at that menu if you're out and about, or even if you're visiting someone, really take to heart to say, you know what, that's kind of poison to my system. Even though we know it's not poison, it's poison to my system. It just doesn't react well. So why put myself through that trauma? Because your body is going through a trauma. That's the reason why it reacts that way to certain food groups or environmental issues or whatever, is it's saying, hey, I can't tolerate that. You need to be, I need that flushed out of the system right away. Because it starts in the gut, it's the absorption, and then it goes to all areas of our system. And it's going to impact all areas in the different systems that we do have. So we have to respect that. And that's kind of a hard thing for people. I absolutely enjoy eggplant Parmesan. It's probably one of my favorite dishes. And I found a couple of restaurants that literally use no breading. It's just a light switch that is baked. So you get a little bit of that crispy, but it's not heavily greased. And I think it's the grease is the issue. Now, when I think of that, ironically, I absolutely love, locally, we have a great restaurant called Post and Vine. You and Gary came with us, and they have those truffle fries. That doesn't bother me. Now, obviously, that's also fried, but maybe it's the type of oil that they're using. Maybe it's they only dip it in the oil for so long. I don't know. So it's kind of like your body has to know what it can do and what it can't. The other issue a lot of people have, and I know I have this one as well, is there's certain cream cheese factors that also impede my digestion. So while when I was younger, one of my favorite dishes was fettuccine Alfredo. I cannot eat that. Maybe I can have a taste of it. That's a stretch. I have not had fettuccine Alfredo in probably, at least 10 years. And do I miss it? Yeah, I do like it, but it's just something that bothers my stomach. But I can eat a cannoli. A cannoli is also cream. Now, I also loved cheesecake. Now, maybe a taste of it. My stomach doesn't react well to cheesecake, but yeah, I can eat a cannoli. So there's kind of like no rhyme to reason. So I can't always say that it's actually a food category. It has to do with maybe, is there a lot of sugar in it? You know, what kind of oil is being used? And I think restaurants are getting more insightful about the different oils that they're using, because there are some oils that are actually good for your body. And then there's others that, you know, maybe they're not draining the tank out per se and putting in fresh, clean oil repetitively, you know, and keeping up on that. So I'm not sure if it's that, but I would love to know from our listeners and viewers, you know, what different food groups and or recipes bother you, and are you embracing that fact and have that mentality to say, I'm not going to keep trying to do this. I'm not going to, even though I love this particular recipe, I love this certain food, why put yourself through it?
Exactly. And, you know, as you were talking about the different oils and stuff that we cook with, I don't know if you remember when we were kids, there was a commercial. If you think it's butter, but it's not, it's chiffon. And, you know, mommy would buy that every.
Wasn't that the one with the crown? Or is that another one? Imperial.
That's
Remember?
Imperial.
Oh. And the crown would pop on your head.
But what I remember about that is, you know, so many years later, I'm still remembering that. I'm still remember, you know, going to the grocery store with mommy and her buying that. And then years later, you find out
Whoa.
Crappity crippity crap that's in it.
Oh, yes. I mean, when I hear the word margarine, I think of lard. I just think of lard. We're actually now, we use very little butter. We use actually plant-based butter. And ironically, John has joined this new gym, and the gym owner actually was having some issues with cholesterol, because that's a huge piece. A lot of people are finding that sometimes it doesn't have to do with necessarily your diet, that your body actually produces the bad cholesterol. And, you know, you could have somebody that's very lean and they have a high cholesterol level because their body just naturally produces it. And he was getting, I've got to find out the name of it because I think I'm actually going to give it a try. You know how they have those companies that do prepackaged food? Well, this one is all plant-based. And I'm really going back to plant-based things. So I started probably Jack and Liz had told me about a plant-based butter, and you can do it in olive oil or avocado. And it's a plant-based. And to me, it tastes just like butter. But I'm finding that, you know, my digestion feels better when I do that versus even whole butter. Margarine is like the death of poison for your body. I think of it as lard. There's nothing nutritional about margarine. It's just so bad for you. So while butter, you know, people have to watch the intake of butter, going after that real thing and or going to plant-based food groups does wonders to keep us regulated, but it also does wonders. It's more gentle on the belly, more gentle on your digestion tract. So I think I've got to find the name of it, but I think I'm going to give it a whirl just to see the difference. I agree with you with the beef piece to it. A lot of people who really enjoy that great steak or that hamburger are saying, But I think people are forgetting it also has to do with the injections of that cow that it's disrupting people's digestion tracts. So I really try to find things that are grass-fed. If you like meat, it is a little bit more expensive, but there's nothing wrong to say that we can cut out some of the beef because that's not one of the healthiest. You still need it. You just got to kind of cut back on it. So what I try to do is find grass-fed, and we just don't eat beef the way we used to, just because of the hormone injections. You have to like really start looking, and it's not just with beef. It's also with chicken. There's a lot of chicken that's got hormone injections. So you really got to package read, label read to make sure that you are, at first you might say, and we all know cost of living, God knows it's going up. We know that. We kind of predicted that over the last few months. Be picky about what you're doing. I actually go to the grocery store more now than ever because I don't like buying in bulk. Being in Florida and also depending on where you live, you can't buy plentiful amounts of fruit and vegetables because you're not going to eat them all before they go bad. So we are blessed that we have a local food, produce, grass-fed area literally right around the corner. So I'll go there and I'll, pick up a few things of corn or tomatoes or, grass-fed beef, whatever it may be. So I'm buying smaller amounts because it's more expensive, but also because we're tailoring down on some of that stuff that we used to eat. And we might at the same time want value and don't want to have to throw stuff out. So we're buying smaller amounts.
Right. And I was actually having a really good conversation with Ryan Scott yesterday. And I, always kind of pick his brain. Ryan's my son, for those who don't know. And I always kind of pick his brain on different things that I want to try, or because I am definitely more plant-based than I've ever been in my life. And he was so cute. He's like, Ma, I'm going to tell you what you always told me, read the labels. And he's absolutely correct. But he did.
What would you say is one of your favorite plant-based things that you kind of discovered?
Well, there is one particular product that I absolutely love, and I haven't had it in a while, although the last month I started buying it again for whatever reason. I think you go through these different phases, but excuse me, it's called Vega, VEGA. It's a chocolate protein based mixture. And everybody knows I am not a big fan of protein shakes. I do try different brands because I'm asked, hey, what would you recommend? What do you use? I'm asked that all the time. So I do like to try different brands. And by the way, if you're in the market, a lot of these different stores that you go to, whether it be Whole Foods, the Vitamin Shop, don't buy the big containers. If you want to try a brand, they often have the little envelopes on the side. The envelopes definitely more expensive, but buy one or two. Try one, and if you like it, obviously keep the other one, for an emergency if you need to drink, a protein shake real quick. But anyways, back to the Vega. Oh my God, it is so good. When I have it, I'm like, this is simply delicious. Like, I feel like I'm cheating on myself with, my nutrition. And I will typically put in half a small banana, and then obviously use the other half for, the following morning. I absolutely love it. It is delicious. And if you are a chocoholic like me, you will love it too.
Yeah, I found it's a brownie batter protein shake. It doesn't have all the other vitamins, so I kind of flip-flop between the vanilla one that I love and then this chocolate batter one, and sometimes I combine them too. Sometimes I'll have peanut butter powder to it. So it really is finding the right mixture that really suits your belly, because we know that we definitely need that protein, especially if we're cutting some of the protein out from, whether it's beef that you're eating, chicken, fish. There's other ways of getting protein without going down that road. So, like if you're a vegetable person, go after the spinach. Who doesn't like a nice spinach salad? I love it with blueberries and strawberries and tomatoes, and I'll, add just different things to it. I'm really into lately a lot of chopped salad. I know there's something about a chopped salad, and I take the scissors, and obviously I do have, we have like a little herb garden. So I take some of that and chop all that in there, take all the lettuce and I fold it. And I actually take it and I fold it and I snip it so it's really nice and tight and small, because I don't know, just about something about the flavors and the mixtures of it all. It tastes really good. I love that.
Yeah, plus it's easy to, mix.
Yes, mix and eat,
Yes.
It just goes better with all the juices.
Yeah, I don't know why a chopped salad is so appealing, and maybe it's just the presentation of it and adding your own things with it. So I have a question, and this just popped into my head, and this has nothing to do about nothing.
I love a little segment about nothing to do about nothing. I love it.
So if you or somebody came to you and wanted to do a movie of your life, what would you call the movie? In 5 words or less.
You're asking me directly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got to be 5 words or less. Okay.
5 words or less.
Casu's wild roller coaster ride.
That's kind of lame, but okay.
Well, I knew you put me on the spot here. That's the best I can come up with. What would your title be? So you already got it in your head, I'm sure.
Yeah. And actually, when I was trying to fiddle with my hair, I was thinking of it, and I will tell you why it popped into my head.
Okay.
But the name of my movie would be To This Point, ...
Oh, I like that. That's, yeah, so you had time to think about it. I was just
Yeah, I did.
rattling off.
Well, get back to us with a proper name, not a lame one.
Yeah, I got stuck on the 5 words or less. So I was really, in my head, counting on my hand. Okay, 5 words. What's a lot of people call me Casu. That would be kind of a cool piece to put, and that's as far as I got. So, wild ride, Riles, whatever, I'll figure it out. But that is a great question, for those out there on this Fantabulous Friday. Think of a title of the movie that would kind of really, just commence where you are in your life, what that title would look like. What would you envision, and then, the music that comes in with the title, you really get into it.
You know what? I think I'm going to have to work on a book trailer for that.
No, it's just kind of like, kind of gets you excited when you think about that and where you are. And are you embracing, are you using the 5 great steps that we lay out for everyone every single day to really get you and really catapult you into having that great mindset for a weekend, right? So, you want to encompass everything. You always want to make sure that you have that really positive mindset, even the days where it feels like, oh, can this day get over? I mean, how many of us can relate to that? You just having a bad day or it starts off wrong. Try to switch that mindset around. We always give you great tools on ways to improve that. Triumph Tuesday, that's when you embrace even the small wins. It doesn't matter. It didn't have to be this, hey, if it's a great big monumental thing, that's great. But guess what? The little pieces are also just as important because they're stepping stones to get you through the next day. Wealth Wellness Wednesday, where we talk about paying it forward to other people, being kind, living by the golden rule, and surprising someone, having that exchange, a financial exchange with someone that you do not know to change the direction of their specific day. And hopefully that they will learn from that and do the same. Trending Thursday, we know there's something always trending, whether it's locally within your community, statewide, nationally, and how that impacts your life, and really kind of showcasing that you should be a trend center of something good, of course, something positive. Let's spark some positivity in the world. And we commence all of that with our Fantabulous Friday, just celebrating our week, embracing everything that we did, whether good, bad, or indifferent, that we learned from it. And then that's going to catapult us into a great. We do not do our podcast on Saturday and Sunday for a reason, but we also have the mindset that we sail into Saturday and that Sunday is kind of, well, it's the first day of the week. Are you getting organized? Are you ready to steadfast on track on Sunday to catapult you into that Monday? So those are some really, really good tips that we're sharing with you. We love sharing great ways for you that we're going to impact your life. And when we're impacting your life in a positive way, guess what? That makes you feel good and you're going to impact other people. What do you think? What do you say to that, Jan?
Oh, absolutely. And I wanted to give an update because I think it was last Friday when I announced that I was going to read 10 books on my reading list. And I actually picked out 15, but I'm sticking to 10. And these are, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books that I am currently reading. The first one is Everything Is, and this is by Mark Manson.
That is Everything Is F.
Yeah. Thirsty for More by Allison Allen.
Nice book.
You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. If by Mark Batterson. Another Jen Sincero book, Badass Habits.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got this the other day, and I am so excited. 75 Hard by Andy Frisella.
Yeah, I love Andy. He's inspiring. He is a badass himself, and he really motivates people and really pushes the envelope. You know, how far can you push your own envelope?
Absolutely. And by the way, he has a really good podcast as well. And you never know who may show up on our podcast.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
You never know. And we're giving shout outs to good morning to Tony. Good morning to our sister Claudine, who is watching with us. She sends good morning wishes to the monster, just so you know. And yeah, isn't that cool? Yeah, we're excited. We've been living in this area now for a little over a year, about a year and a half, and we've always wanted to get to, and we're praying that the weather holds out. They have this thing in downtown where, from 6 to 9, you get to, they call it Friday walk around or something. You get to walk around to all the different restaurants and bars and little shops in the area. And they give out treats, they want you to come into their shop or store or restaurant. So we're excited. We're going to go with a group of pickleball peeps. We had our pickleball happy hour last night, which is awesome time with these ladies and men. They're just such a great group at Pickle U. So congrats on another successful, fun evening. And we hope everyone has a great weekend. Utilize all those tools. And the greatest thing that you could probably do for yourself is, even during the busyness of our weekend, because sometimes our weekends are like crazy busy. You're running around from soccer field to baseball field. We're at that kind of time, and it's obviously the start of summer. Take that time. Our country's been through a lot over the last 15 months. Everything is pretty much opened up. Embrace that, get out, enjoy, the fresh air, get out and see people. People have been people deprived for a very long time. And it's good to see people out and about and enjoying each other's company and smiling. And how are you? Let's catch up. So I think that's a kind of a great mantra to go into for the weekend.
I love that. And I just happened to hop on Facebook on my laptop, and you know how they pick out memories from like a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever. So memories from Facebook 1 year ago today, we had the amazing Alexander Diaz on, was his first appearance with us. And we're just so excited for him. He won best short film for his unbelievable work on Joseph. Just absolutely a miracle kind of story. It's a message that really, think about the miraculous scenario that happened with him. And that was 1 year ago today. Wow. And look at where he is today. So shout out to you, Alex, and hope you were able to make that connection with Holly, another one of our podcast guests who was also on our 250th. I can't wait to see what happens next for him. It's just so many amazing things. But anyways, Fantabulous Friday. Let's go out and make it a good one. And I've got to take care of a little monster here that is whining for my attention. That's why he's sitting on my lap.
Aww.
Yeah, he's feeling a little better today, huh, monster? You got a boo-boo.
Oh.
My name is Janis, aka Wellness Diva 5.0 with the monster, and I am with TwoSistas,
and this is Carroll-Sue, aka Naughty Boss Life from Vero Beach. Again, have a great weekend. Keep everything that you learned from this past weekend, use it to your advantage. and prepare yourself for next week. We've got a lot of things, great things going on. We wish you a great weekend, and we will see you Monday for Mindset Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye, everyone.